Good evening from Lombok, everyone. It's Anifa Menon from hearthealthbrainhealth.com, encouraging healthy grieving and mindful actions. Tonight, I want to talk about love and light, and I love these concepts. But love and light are often words that we link with divine energies. Now, I'm not talking about passionate love or romantic love, although that also has a divine quality to it. Something even grander than that, which means that it's something that when we really feel strongly from our heart, we can feel love. And when we feel something showering us with blessings, that can feel like light. And love and light is a term that's used a lot these days. Today, I thought I'd start with this quotation. It says, "The reason people awaken is because they have finally stopped agreeing to things that insult their soul." Wow, so the reason people awaken is because they have finally stopped agreeing to things that insult their soul. Now, why would this link with love and light? I could tell you that many times I see that we will ask each other, "Hello, how are you?" We'll say hello and "How are you?" And people will seem fine. And yet you can see that their eyes might look sad, or they might have been crying, or something's not right. Even if they don't look sad, there's just an energy from people that even though they're saying that they're fine, they're not really fine. We can understand that, so we can see that they're not really speaking truth. Now, this has become common in the whole world, I believe, that most of the time in Canada we'll say, "How are you?" Here we say "Apakabar," or people will say "Apakabar," which means the same thing. And most are just very quick and will say they're fine. So it's interesting that we have tolerated this. We say the words to look polite, like we care even, and oftentimes we don't even care. We don't really have time to listen to if they're not well. We're going to move on, and so people have learned this, and so they don't go into the details of if they're not well. Now, when this awakening happens, is the soul feels this. So even though our minds have adapted, our actions have adapted, we can walk away from someone we know is hurting, or our minds can say, "I know they're hurting," and actually even ego can kick in, where "I know they're hurting, they're just not telling me the truth." Or our compassion can kick in, "I wonder what's happening with them." And this is something that happens to a person who is awakening. When a person is awakening, things that insult our soul might be related to truth. And I love truth. I believe most people love truth. Now, how many people are actually acting from that space? We all love truth, but how many people speak from that space? Now, truth, to tell someone something private is a very personal thing. But I might tell my best friend something very private. I might tell a parent something very private. But I might not tell anyone. And this has become very, very common in our society, that we're so busy to do the next thing, worried in our own minds about things that we have to do or things that have happened, whether emotionally caught up in different things. And you know that I work with grief recovery, and I definitely have learned this in that work. When I work with grief recovery, which you know I did for years in Canada, I don't do here, but it's still part of me, and it definitely allows us to awaken our senses to how we look at grief, and how grief is also something that can awaken us. So many people, whether it's from a relationship shakeup, so breaking up, whether it's a divorce, a separation, a loss of a loved one in terms of death, these things often create such a shock to the system, and I've certainly gone through these experiences, and often lead to an awakening. And this awakening literally makes us feel like, how is it I'm tolerating this? So I thought I'd read this quotation to you too. It says, "The spiritual community pushes this narrative of love and light so strong and neglects to explain that you must enter the darkness to reach that love and light. If you're not acknowledging these negative parts, your practice is surface level." So why I want to bring this up with this awakening idea is that many people go through many opportunities of awakening. So for example, if I love truth, There are many awakenings I can have that, wait, there isn't truth being told here, there isn't truth being told here. And do I speak truth? So awakening makes us not so comfortable when something is not being brought to the light. And we need to start with ourselves to say, okay, am I acknowledging these parts of me? Am I speaking truth? If truth is really important to me, do I speak truth? So if someone asks me how I am, might I say, if I'm not doing so well, not great, but getting better, not as good as yesterday, but still pretty good. I'm just not good right now. Any of those things. And remember, I can say all of those things with a relatively positive space. Oftentimes people just say, fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. And the fake smile comes on and the energy is there. And so then I am trained when I ask, how are you? And someone says, I'm fine. And I know that they're not. I am trained to tolerate a lie or call someone up on their lie of, are you sure that you're okay? And I can see a discomfort, I can feel a discomfort, but then that's also my truth, that if I see something, do I actually ask about it? And someone might tell me the truth, and if they do not, I might say, I'm just going to pray for them or meditate to send good healing energy that way. But a person can also say, I'm not that great right now. I don't feel like talking right now. I will chat with you later about this. Anything. Or I'm going to talk to my best friend, and yeah, I'm okay. Thank you for asking. Anything like that is a really beautiful way to respond to these things. But most people have gone so inward about I'm fine, we actually believe the lie that we're speaking. So if someone says I'm fine, and then just goes into, yeah, it's in the back of the mind that thoughts keep on talking about I'm not fine. It's really hurt me. I'm really upset. I'm really angry. I'm hurting. Any of those things can be playing in our minds, and yet we'll try to block it out. We'll try to think, let me get busy, let me do this, let me do that. Some people will sleep more, some people will sleep less, some people will eat more, some people will eat less, some people will talk more, some people will exercise more. All of these things happen, which tell us that we're not okay. And yet, we'll say love and light. So I see this so much in communication these days, whether it's in texting or we see it in emails sometimes people on posts and social media. So this love and light has become the same thing, that love and light was to be linked with divine energy and true blessings for each other. And it starts with ourselves. Remember that unless I have love in my heart and light in my heart that I can share with others, I will share this dark space. This dark space is affecting me first, and then it goes out into my environment. Now, you know, when anyone is in a dark space, most often they don't mind bringing anyone else into that dark space because it's like, well, that's where I am. Sorry for you. You bring your own light, and that's what we need to do, is bring our own light. So if we can bring our own light sheds light on the truth of I'm hurting. I am not feeling so good in this moment. I could use some help. Any of those things, even if we're only saying it to ourselves, even if it's maybe, and that help doesn't mean a practitioner or someone to speak with. It could be listening to some fun music. It could be dancing. It could be writing. It could be doing anything that brings us a little bit of lighter energy. And today, I want to make sure that we recognize that if we are not acknowledging when we're hurting, many people can even talk about, yeah, this person did this to me again, and it's typical them, and I'll just avoid them. And this is happening a lot in the world. So I wanted to end today with this quotation, which is from a comic that I found that has a great image, which I'll share on social media, on WhatsApp and Facebook sometime soon. Not tonight, but soon. But it literally says, I change, we change, they change. So if we can remember that unless I change, then we change. So who is beside me or who is around me, we change. Because if I decide to speak the truth, people around me will feel like speaking the truth. What I give, I will receive. Now, not always from exactly the person I give it to. And this is part of the learning in life, that just because I choose to be truthful somewhere because it's important to me doesn't mean I will receive truth from that space, but I will receive truth from somewhere. And even that space will eventually come to truth. Whether I hear it through the grapevine or I hear it directly from the person, truth comes to light. So again, it's back to I change. This is important. It has to start with me. Then we change. So myself, my closest circle. If I believe truth is important, I share this. If I change in a not so positive way, I will also affect we. We will change in a not so positive way. And so then that brings in a bit of responsibility. And then when I change positively, which is what I encourage all of us, of course, to do, they change. So the people that we are thinking at, and we're usually pointing fingers, why don't they do this? Why did they do this? And that just makes me so upset. We start with the outside does not help our inside. If I start with the inside, I change. I choose to see the good in people. I choose to not watch things that bring me down because I'm aware of this. I choose to recognize that we are working together, we are united. These are beautiful concepts that can be put into action. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because yesterday I went to this wonderful high school and saw a wonderful presentation of so many dances, and it was so fantastic to see. It was unexpected, and I had a wonderful front row seat, which I did not expect either. But it was such a wonderful experience because one of the dances was the cha-cha dance, and I can tell you that this dance and this music is very familiar to me because I was staying in Bali for quite a bit of time, and I was right across from a particular temple that has the cha-cha dance regularly. If you haven't seen it, sometimes it's known as the fire dance, but it is cha-cha, so it's cha-cha-cha-cha-cha. If you've ever heard it, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. If not, look it up on YouTube, you can find it. And it's a wonderful experience to either attend or read about or listen to. I can tell you that it's right across from the place that I stay most often in Bali, and I am very interested in Vedic tradition and teaching too. So I like spiritual teaching, and I can tell you that in this, the story behind this cha-cha dance is Ramayana, and Ramayana is very popular in Bali. It's very much part of the understanding and the general belief. Is it practice? I don't know, but I will say that it's the core intention to practice from Bali itself. And it's all about good over evil. And so when I think about speaking truth, I think of it's good. And if I think of speaking lies, it's not so good. I won't use the word evil. Right now is Galungan time in Bali. And so this cha-cha dance was so wonderful. Galungan is a time of welcoming spirits from the other side, so past relatives, friends, to bring them back, that they're coming back, welcoming them back to bless our space. And you know, a lot of soul energies are around us, and we ourselves are souls too. And we've had so many experiences with souls helping us in our journey. And I love this idea because this is also love and light that surrounds us and comes through us too. This I thought was such a wonderful experience yesterday because it reminded me about the commonality between Lombok and Bali, that we look at good over not so good, and we look at inherent energies that help one another and lift one another and unite us. And if we can see the similarities amongst us, it brings us back to our soul's journey, and then our soul won't be so wounded from things that are avoided. Our soul recognizes when we are speaking truth, when we are acting with dignity and honor. I will put the video that I created about Ramayana just under this video so that you have an understanding about what Ramayana expresses or shares with all of us, and how it's so linked with this love and light video that I'm sharing with you today. I want to thank that high school that I visited yesterday. Thank you, teachers. Thank you, students. Thank you, staff. It was so wonderful, and it was so beautifully welcoming to be there with you. I felt the love and the light, and I hope that you felt mine too. I wish everyone who's watching this video tonight a fabulous day or night ahead, and I hope you remember, transform your mind and transform your life. Have a great day or night, everyone.